We're going to begin at the Vatican. Cardinals from across the globe gathered just moments ago for their final mass before the papal conclave begins. They're going to assemble next in the Pauline Chapel for prayer, then onto the Sistine Chapel, where they'll swear an oath to uphold the mission of St. Peter if elected Pope. Then everyone's going to be looking at that chimney right there after the first ballot is cast, as we wait for the white smoke that signals a new Pope has been elected. We have team coverage, and we start with Chief International Correspondent James Longman in Vatican City. Good morning, James.
Yeah, good morning, George. Cardinals from around the world have spent the last 2 weeks very much in the public eye as the world tries to figure out who they're going to choose as Pope. Well, soon they will retreat into the beautiful mystery of conclave, and we won't know that they've chosen a new Pope until we see that famous white smoke.
This morning, more than 200 cardinals gathered for a final mass at St. Peter's.
In nomine Patris et Filii et Spiritus Sancti.
Before, just moments from now, 133 of them, the electors, will process into the Sistine Chapel to perform their ancient duty, electing a new pope in the sacred and secretive ritual known as the Papal Conclave. Rows of tables with place cards and voting sheets now line the more than 500-year-old chapel, and under Michelangelo's Last Judgment, they will take their solemn vow of secrecy. No phones, no computers, no televisions, completely isolated from the outside world. After the vow, we'll hear the famous words, extra omnes, everybody out.
Extra omnes.
The doors are closed and the conclave begins. New York Cardinal Timothy Dolan says the first vote could be revealing.
Now, I have to tell you, that first ballot is so significant, because then you'd see who are the leaders.
Cardinal Jean-Paul Vesco, the Archbishop of Algiers, tells me he doesn't expect a very long conclave.
If on Friday night the Pope is not elected, it will be that something unexpected has happened.
These ancient halls will now go into effective lockdown. Jamming technology will ensure no service. The chapel and sleeping quarters swept for bugs, and the small number of assistants, housekeeping and medical staff tending to the electors have also sworn to secrecy. One of the final acts before conclave begins, the doors to the Apostolic Palace sealed with the words conclave and 2025. This conclave will be like no other. 133 cardinals voting, 80% of them were appointed by Pope Francis. They come from every corner of the world, 71 different countries, the largest and most diverse conclave in history. Once the Pope is elected, he'll head to the Room of Tears next to the Sistine Chapel, where these white papal vestments are already waiting for him. And then the 267th Pope will emerge for the world to see.
Now, there are a few front-runners, if you're to believe the bookies and Italian press. Cardinal Parolin, who is former Secretary of State here, he's one of the front-runners. Cardinal Tagle of the Philippines, he would be the first Asian Pope and a reformer in the kind of image of Francis. But the truth is, no one knows. And actually, I've been speaking to cardinals here all week. The overwhelming sense is that, you know, they are not going in with an individual in mind necessarily. And that wasn't the case back in 2005, for example, when Benedict was chosen. George?
James, so many of us have seen a version of this in the movie Conclave, but walk us through the voting process.
Yeah, so tonight we will have the first vote. It'll take place at around 6 o'clock here. We don't know exactly when. That's midday Eastern. We'll be right here covering it. That should we'll have about an hour until we see smoke. Again, probably black smoke, but again, we don't know. That will give the cardinals a chance to kind of get to know. It's the first chance, real chance they have. Who among them might have a real chance to be Pope? They will then retire for the night to contemplate those names, and then over the coming days, they will whittle that list down to some front runners. There'll be 2 votes in the morning, 2 votes in the afternoon, and we'll be waiting for that famous white smoke. George?
James Longman, thanks.